Hey Taurus, how's it going? Welcome back to my channel. I am Berkana Star. This is your September 2020 reading. So, before I get started, I just wanted to say, thank you for joining me. I forgot what I was gonna say. Yeah, so I am offering personal readings. My email is down below. And check out my sick nails. I've tried to record these videos already. But essentially what ended up happening was, like, the messages were great. I felt like they were on point. I was really excited for the Taurus video. Like, it's like we've got something really exciting going on. But they just didn't feel right, and yeah, I decided to record them. And I decided to do my nails before I did. And I went through this really interesting kind of like thing where I was like, no, I should start the videos before I do my nails. That's such an egotistical thing. I shouldn't. I hate that word, should. Anyway, ego isn't bad. And, like, there's nothing wrong with wanting to do some pretty things. Or wanting to like, have some pretty things. Within reason, right? Within reason. But I mean, I have my sun in Taurus, and I started with the Virgo video, so it was like, it was meant to happen this way. Taurus, got some interesting things going on. Oh my god. So the Chariot and the Emperor just popped out at me after the Wheel. This is a really big month for us. If you're a Taurus ascendant, Aries is your 12th sign. If you count it from your sun, it's 12th from your sun. And the Chariot is obviously Cancer. It could very well be that you have a direction that you really want to go. Oh my god, the cards are doing their own thing today. There could be a direction that you really want to go, that you've been planning on going for a while, and you just want to start, you just want to go. But you might be held back a little bit this month. But don't fret. Victory is coming. Just saw the Hermit pop up. I think it's ready. Right out the gate, seven of swords. Oh my goodness. Okay, most of those are actually upside down. That's interesting. Oh shit, I forgot. Oh, why I did that? I got all nervous. Okay, so we're gonna start with the bottom of the deck is the Princess of Swords. So we are coming into this new intellectual and, like, analytical energy. Maybe we're being more decisive about what is for us and what's not for us. I like that. Speaking of swords, first card is the Seven of Swords. Okay, so this came out upside down, and I'm going to talk about it both ways so that you understand. But you as the viewer need to decide what way resonates more for you. I'm going to kind of pick a story and go with it, but there's no way for me as a reader to connect to just one energy. And that is why these are general readings. So I'm doing my best to connect to the constellation of Taurus and the energy of Taurus and channel that through. And how you are, where you are in your individual journey, that is going to determine whether the card would be upright or reversed. So I'll let you know. I'll let you know and you decide. Oh, I forgot to mention who did my nails. My girlfriend at Special FX Nails did them. I'm so excited. They're so gorgeous. Ugh, beautiful. Okay, Seven of Swords. This usually indicates some kind of deception, some kind of, you know, counter force. So this very well could be that you were feeling like that within yourself, or somebody outside of you with some hidden motives has done something. It's kind of like undermine your efforts. Maybe like they've stolen like an intellectual idea, or like an inspiration, or it could be something physical. Yeah, so that's upright. If it's reversed, that means that maybe like you blocked that, or you saw through it, or you see through it. It's not as hidden as they want it to be. So that's how we're starting September off. Damn. Immediately crossing that is the Six of Cups. So those are two very different energies. Wow. This is often seen as this, like, the soulmate card. The Six of Cups is like this beautiful balance and perfection of like deep intimacy and bonding and pleasure, right? Scorpio is actually like a very pure energy, really. They really are. And I brought some crystals to help me hold the cards down so the wind doesn't throw them everywhere. I forgot to mention that. But anyway, the Scorpio is actually very like pure energy. They get this horrible rap for being like these like sex divas and stuff, but they just want to know God. I mean, ultimately that's all of us ever really want, is to know divinity. Where am I taking this? Well, the sun is shining on this Scorpio card. It's one of the cards from the Deacons ruled by the sun. Which means that whatever is immediately crossing you that is causing these feelings is in fact divinely inspired. So that's pretty cool. So, moving on. The third card, third position, this is, you know, where you're coming from as a viewer, as the questioner, and you're coming from the Eight of Swords, the Lord of Shortened Force. So we go from the 7 to the 8. Interesting. So, this is the first deacon of Gemini. It is ruled by Jupiter. Could very well be that, and it was also upside down, so again, I'm going to talk about both. So, if it were upright, that would mean that you have so many ideas and so many inspirations that you can't focus on one, or you go a little bit too hard or a little bit too soft, or like it's not perfectly even in some way. Or you got a lucky break and like you could have gotten a lucky break and whatever the Seven of Swords situation was, you know, you saw through it at the last minute and pulled out. It was upside down. It's kind of like you use way too much force. You could be feeling a lot of nervous energy. Could be feeling a lot of nervous energy. Okay, next position, this is the far past, is the Sun. Beautiful. Happiest card in the deck. It was technically reversed, so I'm going to talk about both. This is usually like, this is a divine path. It is source. It is happiness and freedom, and you know what you want, and you know what will bring you liberation. If it's upside down, maybe that's being blocked for you, and you're not able to see. I don't think it's upside down, though. You have a couple of cards that are ruled by the Sun. I feel like the Sun is or has been illuminating your path, and you know the steps that you need to take. The reason why I say this is more recent past, we have Leo, strength, fortitude, lust. This symbolizes that we are befriending our inner base emotions. Instead of denying that they're there, instead of saying, I never get angry, or I'm never stubborn, or I'm never afraid, which is totally false. You're able to say, no, that is me. I do act like that sometimes. I'm working on being better. But no emotion is bad or inherently evil, especially anger. Anger has a purpose. Anger has a very, very central role. For a lot of people who are in depression, anger is incredibly empowering. Anger can lift you out of that depression and out of that funk and get you moving. Anger is meant to be used as a fuel. So perhaps during September, remember that and use that fuel to end these cycles. So this is the future influence. This is what's coming in September, or, you know, time with tarot is, it's not really linear. I mean, our brains perceive time in a linear fashion, but it's really not. So there's a cycle that's ending, and it definitely has to do with either our worth or how we think about ourselves. I say that because it's a Gemini card. But because the sun is shining on it, it is meant to come to an end. It is meant to teach us something. And I feel like you'll be able to harness this strength to push through it. Does that make sense? And ending this cycle will help us feel more complete, more whole. Whether or not that means that somebody else is coming in, which I don't feel so far from this. I don't feel like anybody's coming in. I feel like this is a largely internal process so far, Taurus. Kind of like we're cutting off the things that no longer serve our actual fulfillment. You're coming from the Eight of Wands. This is very speedy communications. Obviously. Somebody or something will be communicating to you about something that you're passionate about. So, like, ending this that's really beautiful. Ending this cycle, harnessing that inner strength, understanding that, like, you are in fact whole, you don't need anybody else, and seeing through, you know, maybe even internal deception will bring in some messages. That's 2 8s. Ooh. Your environment is the Princess of Pentacles. So this is a new physical manifestation of something. It could be like a new business. It could be new nails. It could be like the delivery of something that you've been waiting for, that you've been trying to manifest. This is the manifestation of it. So, something old is ending, something new is beginning. That's cool. How do you feel about this? How does Taurus feel about this? Oh, Three of Swords. It's technically upside down. So, Three of Swords often is read as heartbreak. I want you to note that it is a card of Libra. This is the middle deacon of Libra, ruled by Saturn. Why is that important? Saturn takes things away, makes us work, really hard, delivers karma. And karma's not always bad, sometimes karma's good. And sometimes things have to end so new things can begin. Saturn is also like following the rules, doing the right thing. Yeah, it's definitely like, it's all about the rules and doing it the right way. So, something that you've cut off didn't make you feel good, but it was the right thing to do. And that's why this card sucks. And the other thing about Libra and this card is that it doesn't have to be a romantic thing. Again, it could be a business dealing. It could be any kind of like partnership. Let me just think about this for a minute. I haven't turned the last card yet, by the way. It's still hanging out. It's like the sun is helping us cut through some bull crap, helping us realize we're already whole within. You know, when you're practicing new skills and when you're learning new skills, more often than not, you tend to overshoot and then undershoot and then overshoot and then undershoot. It's like a pendulum. It's like when you're learning how to be assertive and you've never been assertive before in your life. Like, let's say you grew up with a really passive-aggressive family, or you, speaking of anger, or, you know, you shut your anger down when you're learning to be assertive about it. Sometimes, way overshoot and you end up being aggressive. It's like, oh, that wasn't what I was meaning to do, but like, this is something new that you've never done before, that you've never seen before, never practiced before, and it's totally okay. It's normal, in fact, for like that pendulum to go like this, and then maybe you're really passive next time, or like, well, you get a little bit more assertive, but still you kind of blow up a little bit, but then like, oh, still a little bit passive aggressive, but like, well, you said half the stuff, and then like, oh, that was a little bit more assertive, but then a little bit of passive aggressive, and then finally you finally reach this beautiful middle ground where like you're able to be assertive and state your needs and what is acceptable for you and what is not, and without like blowing up. And that is like really that's what I feel like this card is all about. It's like befriending that inner fire. And then the last card, Taurus. I didn't even finish going through this, but I think I said, oh, harnessing that inner fire, indeed. Damn. This is the first court card, other than the princess. Sick. Sick. So this is 2 deacons of Aries and the last deacon of Pisces. The Queen of Wands, she knows what she wants. She knows who she is. She knows exactly what it'll take to further her kingdom and to make things stable, and she is intuitive. She knows what is what, unless, if it's reversed, unless she falls into escapism and begins to fall back on more negative thinking patterns. But if she doesn't, she has the potential to be highly spiritual and perceptive. Taurus. We've definitely got a lot of like mental energy going on. That's definitely got you feeling ungrounded. Like extremely ungrounded. So maybe do what you can to get back to the earth and your daily routines. And you know, do what you can to embrace the fact that you are loved. Embrace the fact that, you know, changing your relationship with your inner self takes time. And if you're feeling a lot of longing for somebody, understand that you're actually longing for a piece of yourself. Can't remember if it was the beginning of this video or the last video where I was saying if something is happening on the outside, it's also happening on the inside. As above, so below, as within, so without. So if you are in this space of really longing for another person, understand that that is a piece of yourself that is calling for your own attention. Other than that, expect some amazing messages this month. Expect that if you've been putting in effort towards something very physical and new, that it could very well actually really pick up in September, despite the crazy astrological weather. And like, keep in mind that like you need to focus on one thing at a time. And the sun's got your back. Yeah. Yeah. Alright. And yeah, you're the Queen of Wands, baby. Step into that. Step into that power. Harness that fire. Okay, Taurus. I love you guys. I do offer personal readings. My email is down below. And I look forward to coming back mid-month for a rune and tarot video. Okay. Have a good month.